SZT-67, the foundation of the premise. Every story begins somewhere. But some do not begin with a hero or an event, but with a single, resounding idea. A question of, what if? What if people never needed sleep again? What if history had turned out differently? What if gender roles were reversed? What if a hidden continent suddenly appeared on the map? This is the premise. A new condition, not our world, but not impossible either. The writer presents it as given, as if it had always been so. And from that one seed, everything grows, the lives of the characters, the laws of society, the conflicts that unfold. That is why we call it the backbone of the novel. Not scenery, but the deep framework. A single invention, a law, a strange biological fact, and the story begins to write itself. The author merely follows the consequences. And we, the readers, lean forward in curiosity. How does this world work? The strength of the premise is that it jolts us out of habit. It forces us to imagine reality differently. Sometimes it is playful, a game of imagination. Other times it slices into philosophy or ethics, asking questions with no easy answer. For if one thing changes, everything must shift around it. But not all premises hold. If the idea is shallow, just a bit of decoration, the world collapses under its own weight. If too many things are altered at once, the story becomes incoherent. Worst of all is when the writer shrinks from their own idea, and drags the world back to the old familiar path. Then the premise is nothing but a hollow trick. The strongest works, though, carry us across the threshold without our noticing. We believe that magic is as natural a social fact as legislation. That clones have moral status. That history truly veered onto another track. And before we realize it, we are not in our world anymore, but in another, one that explains itself perfectly. This is the foundation of the premise. The engine of the story's spirit. The pillar on which all else is built.